What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are reacting to the Chimera, I think it said Chimera, from Resistance. Now, I've heard of Resistance. I think it's a game. Did I have one of them? I don't remember. I don't think so. No, I think I'm thinking of Killzone. No, I don't know. I don't exactly know what Resistance is. I think I've heard of it. The Chimera sounds like some sort of Russian thing, to be honest. But I have no idea what it is. This has been suggested multiple times. This got suggested quite a while back by somebody, and it's been suggested on the Discord now and in the comments a few times. So I'm going to react to it. It's only 8 minutes long, and this video is from Templin Institute, the good old Tempe Institute. We've watched a lot of their Warhammer videos before, so this should be interesting. It's a shorter video, and because it's been requested so highly, I'm gonna react to it. And we'll do the Chimeran Resistance, or whatever it's called, or War, the Chimeran War, whatever it is. We'll do that too. I have no idea anything about this game, so it's interesting to learn. So yeah, let's get into this video. Also, be sure to subscribe and join our Discord. Let's go.
In 1920, a team of Russian geologists embarked on an expedition to one of the most remote regions of Siberia. A tremendous explosion was reputed to have taken place roughly a decade earlier, one that had flattened entire forests for hundreds of miles. Upon reaching the Tunguska River, the expedition's guides would go no further, fearing what they called the Valleymen, and speaking of superstitious tales of vengeful gods who slaughtered the surrounding wildlife. Only a scant few traces of the expedition were ever recovered after they disappeared, but even as the Russian Empire retreated into isolationism and ties with the outside world were severed, strange tales started emanating from the reclusive nation. European intelligence services began reporting hundreds of ghost towns, entire cities abandoned, strange weather patterns and mysterious lights seen in the night skies.
So what the fuck is taking them over, dude? What kind of demons, bro? Nah.
In 1948, the broadcasts of the 12,000 transmitter stations that constituted the Russian radio network were replaced by a single looping phrase: brotherhood, strength, and fortitude in the face of the angry night. Theories were rampant as to the cause of the Russian situation, and included
that last bit looked like fucking Outlast, dude. Fuck, I have bad memories of that game.
Biological or chemical disaster, some new type of weapon, or even Russian experiments. But when the true nature of this threat was revealed and broke through the Russian border fortifications and spread across the world, it was far worse than anyone could have imagined. They are known by many names. In Russia as the Angry Night, in Italy as the Deathless Plague, yet one other above all, the Chimera.
Chimera.
This monstrous alien race are not—
They look like Tyranids, dude. They look like a mix between orcs and Tyranids, ladies and gents.
a single species, but rather a collection of various strains united under a caste-based hive-like mentality. Each strain is the apparent result of a biological weapon known as the Chimeran virus, which mutates and transforms humans and animals alike into new forms of hybridized life. This is accomplished primarily through small, beetle-like parasites known as crawlers, which inject the virus into a victim's body, usually after entering through the nose or mouth. Crawlers are typically deployed into populated areas through the use of Spire missiles, which can quickly infect entire cities in only a few hours. Once these—
So those explosions they heard were those beetle things, and they came and the wildlife is gone, they're devouring the wildlife. Oh lord.
Parasites have fully merged into the host, the victim will fall into a comatose state, eventually transforming into one of the lower strains of the Chimeran race. To speed up this process, or to create more advanced strains, infected bodies are retrieved and then taken to a network of conversion centers. The Chimera fabricated here are far more capable variants than those created naturally, and are routinely augmented with cybernetic implants, most notably external cooling mechanisms which help offset the Chimera's dangerously enhanced metabolism. The most common Chimera strains vaguely resemble humans, although regularly include up to 3 pairs of golden eyes and grayish-green skin. Within the Chimera's hierarchy, these species fill the lowest tiers of the worker and warrior castes. The more advanced but less common Chimera strains vary wildly in appearance, and often fulfill a very distinct role or have been designed to function within a specific environment. In rare cases, the Chimera
Those ones kind of look like... I don't know if anyone's seen A Quiet Place, that film. Kind of look like that, dude.
Have been known to reconstitute thousands or even tens of thousands of human bodies into enormous creatures reaching heights of 300 feet or more.
Whoa.
In response to changing conditions or local resistance, certain Chimeran strands may be phased out by newer and more effective variants within a relatively short amount of time.
Evolution.
Strains abandoned or cut off from the Chimeran hive mind revert to a bestial state and can become hostile.
So they are like Tyranids. They've got a fucking hive mind. I mean, I don't know if everyone knows what a fucking Warhammer is that's watching this now. I need to get out my Warhammer mindset because we react to a lot of fucking Warhammer shit. But yeah, it's kind of like the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things and the Tyranids from Warhammer, dude.
To their former kin. Feral Chimera exhibit their own form of hierarchy and seem to disproportionately include the more animalistic strains. The exact relationship between the various species of the Chimeran virus remains only partially explained, although generally, lesser strains serve
Was that a map of the UK on that wall? What the fuck?
The species of the Chimeran
Yes,
virus remains only partially explained, although generally, lesser strains serve higher ones who, in turn, exert some method of control over them. During their time on Earth, the Chimera have made use of several dedicated leadership strains who use a type of telepathy to extend their influence. In a unique occurrence, a being known as Daedalus assumed sole command of the Chimera, replacing much of the leadership caste that had come before. The Chimeran ability to combine artificial and biological systems makes it difficult to distinguish Chimeran life from their highly advanced technology. They make use of a number of machines, ranging from mobile siege platforms to enormous battleships and support vehicles. While these craft are known to include lesser Chimeran strains that serve as crew, it is entirely possible that some of these machines themselves might possess an advanced intelligence, and in a sense, be alive. Perhaps the strangest element of Chimeran technology are the immense towers which have been uncovered across the world. While
this is not the type of alien invasion you want. This is a losing fight, bro. Because every man that dies is an extra person added to their army, bro.
the design of these monolithic structures is clearly alien in origin, they are excavated from beneath the surface of the planet rather than built, suggesting the Chimera were active on Earth sometime during the distant past. Within months of the Chimera's overrunning of Europe, dozens of towers were excavated across the continent, and it soon became clear that they were interconnected, forming a vast planetary network. In several cases, larger hub towers were identified and destroyed by local resistance groups, disrupting large sections of the network in the British Isles and Western Europe, and leaving the Chimera there scattered and leaderless. Despite these setbacks, the Chimera were able to launch an enormous invasion of North America and further extend their network. Within the center of the Chicxulub crater on the Yucatan Peninsula, the largest tower of the network ever observed was uncovered, one that seemingly acted as the center of the entire global apparatus. Desperate to destroy this tower before the network could fulfill its ultimate purpose...
Don't mean to be that guy. That guy needs to put some armor on, or some protective gear, because, dude... You're running around with your fucking arms out.
Last remaining military forces of the United States detonated an atomic bomb aboard Daedalus's flagship, destroying much of the fleet stationed there, but also inadvertently triggering the network and opening a wormhole to the Chimera's home planet.
Oh, no.
With the Earth completely under their control, numerous terraforming devices were placed in orbit to slowly cool the planet and make it more suitable for Chimeran life. In a last-ditch attempt to save humanity, a terraformer located over the new center of the network, New York City, was critically disabled, causing it to crash into the tower below, closing the wormhole.
Blade. They don't need Iron Man, dude. I mean, they didn't fly a nuke into the wormhole and detonate it, but at least they closed it, you know?
With the link to their planet severed, the terraforming process was halted, and Earth's ecosystem began showing signs of recovery.
Yes, let's go.
The victory in New York proved to be the beginning of the end of the Chimera, and all across the world, resistance fighters began reclaiming the ruined cities of mankind. This terrible enemy remains as much a mystery as ever, and their defeat leaves behind only unanswered questions. Perhaps the most lingering mystery is if the Chimera have any true form, or exist only as hybrids born of other species. Whether the so-called pure Chimera are still out there, waiting in the stars, is the subject of much debate. But the most haunting evidence for their existence can be found in the final words of the man responsible for their eventual defeat. Can you hear them? They are calling to us. It's beautiful. This is just the beginning.
He's infected. He's infected.
The Templin Institute investigates.
Kill him! I mean, that man, just judging by the veins, bro, he had some blood poisoning going on, dude. Maybe from just being in close contact with them, you know, what's it called? He got the contact virus, I don't know, man. But I hope they offed him after seeing that. But yeah, man, that was interesting. I never really heard of this resistance. Like, I might have, like, brushed past it. I remember, like, I'm trying to remember if I had a game of resistance and I never played it. I'm trying to think. That's a possibility. I would have to check. Because I remember the first time I got a PS3 for Christmas, I got 3 older games, right? As part of the thingy, like, you could trade 3 of them in at a store for a newer game, but I didn't. One of them was Killzone 3 or 2. One of them was Uncharted 2, and the other one I cannot remember. I think it might have been an Assassin's Creed game, actually. I don't remember if I had a Resistance game. I don't think I did. I think I'm thinking of Killzone. But yeah, there's actually a Killzone video there as well. And this was cool, man. Like I said, I never heard of it, and it's very interesting to see. It has some similarities to Warhammer, except this is in more past time rather than Warhammer being 40,000 years. So there's not advanced technology. It's like a whole alien invasion. They got to fight off. It's cool that they won, though. It's cool that they won. I'd be interested to find out more. I will be reacting to the Chimeran War after this. So yeah. Anyway, man, thank you all for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really appreciate that, and I'll see you all next time.